Ogblog Stormfort was not simply born, he was forged. His tale begins amidst the smoke and clash of steel during the short war of the Orristan Plains, where the sun-baked grasslands of the northeast bore witness to a brutal, if brief, conflict between mercenary warbands, kingdom loyalists, and free companies vying for control. On opposite sides of the war stood Thranok of the Broken Fangs, an orcish warrior with fire in her veins, an axe that sang through flesh, and Sir Caelan of Riverthorn, a stoic human sellsword of noble blood and sharpened resolve. They met on the battlefield, blades drawn, hatred burning, but fate is a strange swordmaster, and in the heat of battle respect was struck in place of death. One duel became many, and each time their desire to kill slowly morphed into something else entirely. By war's end, they had abandoned their posts and forged a bond deeper than politics or coin could ever serve. They vanished into the wilds of southwestern Orristan, building a modest cottage among rolling hills and silent woods. There, they started anew. First came Gudrun, their fierce and disciplined son. And 4 years later, Ogblog, a child born of war, raised in peace, and trained with purpose. For the moment he could stand, Ogblog was sparring. His parents taught him everything they knew: discipline, strength, endurance, and the unyielding code of those who survive, not by title, but by grit. The cottage rang with steel, laughter, and the occasional furious shouting, a household of warriors raised in love and war alike. As Gudrun grew, he hungered for glory beyond their quiet life. At 15, he left to join a renowned mercenary band. Ogblog, now the oldest at home, shouldered the legacy, vowing to grow stronger and follow in his footsteps. Over the years, 2 more siblings arrived, Shelka and Raythun, born wide-eyed and eager to match the legacy of their bloodline. Ogblog became their shield, their sparring partner, their quiet protector. One day, while training in the hills near home, a wandering paladin, a knight of the god Osirith, watched from afar. Impressed by Ogblog's raw talent and discipline, the paladin approached him with an offer. Join their order, learn the ways of holy might, and become a beacon of justice. Ogblog declined. He had a path laid in blood and legacy. To walk in the footprints of his warrior parents and forge his own legend, not under a god's banner, but by his own strength. The paladin, disappointed but respectfully, rode on. That night, fate struck again. Bandits fell upon the village in the dead of night, a cruel band of dark elves and rogue high elves, drawn by rumours of a famed warrior couple living in the quiet hills. The attack was brutal. Homes burned, screams echoed, but Ogblog and his parents stood as a bulwark of fury. The Stormforts held the line, buying time for the young to flee. Together they drove back the invaders, but at a cost. The next morning, ash and blood stained the earth. The paladin had returned, drawn by divine instinct, and offered Ogblog the choice once more. This time, he accepted. In the sanctified halls of Osirith's order, Ogblog found discipline beyond strength, purpose, clarity, and something akin to peace. For years he trained, wielding both sword and shield in service of life and order. Yet his heart still burned for adventure, and for family. Gudrun had vanished into the world's chaos. It was time to find him, and perhaps, in doing so, find someone to carry on his family's name, his blood, his fire. His journey took him eastward, across rivers and coastal lands. until he reached the Vandean coast, wary but determined. There, in a tavern full of laughter and drink, he met a bard, a small, cheerful gnome with quick fingers, quicker wit, and a particular glint in his eyes. Jojo. They shared drinks and stories. Ogblog laughed, unaware of the darkness behind the gnome's grin. And as the sun set over the sea, they sealed a quiet pact. One seeking kin, the other a shield. And so began a new chapter, the paladin and the trickster, walking side by side down a road neither of them fully understood.